This move is for when you get really bored and you want to clean the house. So we're gonna do leg sweeps, and leg sweeps are for balance. Leg sweeps are for strength of the balancing leg. And it's also going to give you a different perspective on like how self-reliant you can be, being able to have strength and balance on one leg. So the first thing is you might want something to help you balance. So a chair, a couch, a wall, anything will do. Number two, we're not going to do this very fast or high. So we're not sweeping the legs through in any kind of big dynamic movement. We are sweeping the legs with control. If I start with my hand on the wall, and the leg that's a little bit further away from the wall, it's going to be my left, is going to start sweeping from the inside to the outside. And you don't have to make this a very big move, because the leg that you're standing on, after a little while, will start to get tired, and the leg that you're moving is going to get tired, but in two different ways. So remember, breathe. And about 6 breaths worth is a good amount of time. It's almost a minute. Go to a natural end range of motion. If you cramp, just make it a little bit smaller. Come back to a bigger one tomorrow. Okay, stop. Switch legs. If you are using the wall for balance like I am, then switch sides. So you have a different arm and sweep from side to side. Also remember to relax your face. The more your body's relaxed and the more you can breathe, the more your brain and nervous system can learn. And that's going to help you a lot with balance. Okay, reset. Back to side number one. That was side leg sweeping. Now we're going to do front and back leg sweeping. Touch something for balance. Kick a leg forward and a leg back. Now, if you end up swiping the ground, you might need to pick up your toes. Otherwise, you can play with your feet, you can point. That doesn't matter unless it's enjoyable, and then it does matter. But I want to sweep forward and back. It's okay to let your spine, your hips move too. You don't have to be rigid anywhere else. About 6 breaths worth. Okay, good. Switch sides. Find your balance. If you tend to get dizzy, you might be breathing, you might be holding your breath too much, or just might be a little bit challenging, and that's fine. So always pause. If you get a little bit dizzy, feel the ground, look around the space before you do the next step. Front and back. Okay, good. Switch, we've got one last round. So this is a rotational leg sweep. We're taking one leg, bringing it across, and then around and out. Cross it in and around and out. So one of the things that's happening is the toe is changing directions in a big way. Here we go. 6 breaths. And if you feel cramping, make it smaller. Like you to feel more successful, and look forward to the joy of doing it again tomorrow. Okay, switch sides. 6 slow reps, 6 nice breaths. Have the toe change directions as you go. Okay, and rest. Now, you've done leg sweeps side to side, front to front, and rotation. So you've done a lot for your hips. What we're gonna do right now is a little bit of dynamic movement in different directions. Start by going side to side. And one of the things we're doing with this is we're taking your leg bone and your pelvis, and we're doing the same, we're making the same relationships happen. Your pelvis is moving one way and the leg comes across, but we're using completely different forces. So same movement, different forces, and your brain gets a little bit better understanding of how to make and help all this happen. Okay, next, make the hips go forward and back. So you can just stick your butt back a little bit and then let your hips come forward a bit. Now this one's really easy to overdo because a lot of people think that this should feel like a stretch. Don't worry about that. Make this a bit more enjoyable than stretchy and exercising. And you might take a couple times to find out, well, okay, where does it feel good to do this versus feels like a workout or a stretch. So start with what feels really good so that your brain can assimilate it a lot faster. And the last one was the rotation. So with the rotation, turn your pelvis one direction and then turn it the other. If you feel really twisty in the knees, make it a bit smaller. If you shift onto the edges of your feet, like we've done in another video, that's okay. I'm gonna minimize it. You don't have to be rigid, but play with pointing your pelvis and let that be the driver. Last couple, relax your shoulders. Oh, great job. Leg sweeps, clean up your hips. Enjoy.